Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Nomadic Cat. Today I'm going to share my 4-day Paris itinerary with you all. Before that, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. We arrived at the train station Gare du Nord by the high-speed train Thalys, which was very comfortable and had enough legroom, almost like a flight. The best way to explore Paris is by metro, and if you plan on taking metros, I will really recommend on taking a metro pass for the amount of days you're staying, as it will be cheaper. It was almost evening by the time we reached our Airbnb and grabbed a quick lunch, so we quickly took the metro to reach our first stop for day 1. And it of course had to be the iconic Eiffel Tower. We reached the metro Alma Massieu, from where the view was pretty phenomenal. Take some time to take in this view of the romantic Paris. Our next stop for the day was the Seine River cruise. I really recommend this doing during the evening, as Paris looks beautiful during sunset and nighttime. We chose the Bateau Parisiens river cruise, which was for 1 hour. I recommend reaching early according to your time so that you can take a nice seat and enjoy the spectacular views unobstructed. You can see many of the iconic structures of Paris that surround the river Seine from this cruise, like Louvre, Notre Dame, and many of the beautiful bridges. And once you complete your cruise, don't forget to enjoy the Eiffel Light Show, which happens every 1 hour after the sunset, for example 7 pm, 8 pm, and so on. It was time for dinner now, and the place we chose was TranTranZai. I love eating where the locals eat and avoiding tourist traps, and this was recommended by a local to us. They serve some delicious ramen. In fact, it was one of the best ramen that I've ever had. New day, new metro station. Take a good night's sleep because day 2 involves a lot of exploring. But breakfast first. Take a good cappuccino with some croissant and pain au chocolat, which is very famous in Paris. We arrived at the Notre Dame bridge to start our day 2 explorations. Honestly, the view here was so good that we stood here for some time and clicked pictures. Our first stop for day 2 was the Chapelle, which is one of the most beautiful churches in Paris. I recommend reaching at least 15 minutes before your slotted time, as it can get pretty crowded even if you have a ticket. It takes a few stairs to reach from the entrance hall to the main hall where all the colored glass windows are located. Honestly, it is so mesmerizing. It is also said that Jesus' crown of thorns was housed here at Sainte-Chapelle before it was moved to Notre Dame. Which brings us to our next stop of the day, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is just 5 minutes walk from Sainte-Chapelle. Unfortunately, it was destroyed in a fire in 2019 and is currently under reconstruction. It will reopen to public only in 2024, but you can enjoy its beauty from outside. All that exploring made me really hungry. And we reached La Jacobine, yet another restaurant loved by the locals. I really recommend doing a reservation beforehand, as it can get really crowded. We had to wait for 40 minutes in the queue, but the wait was worth it. One thing which is an absolute must-try in Paris is the French onion soup. It is made of meat broth, cheese, and bread croutons. We also tried their duck in mushroom sauce, and it was delicious. Our next stop on day 2 was our most interesting experience in Paris, the Paris Catacombs. A hidden network of underground ossuaries, or a place where the bones of 6 million people have been preserved. It involves going 130 steps down the ground level, so make sure you wear comfortable shoes. There is also an audio guide which is available in 4 languages and can be used as you navigate through the catacombs. As you start the tour, you'll understand that these tunnels were earlier used for limestone mining before moving the bones here. Honestly, it starts feeling pretty spooky already. And then you see them, the bones of 6 billion people shifted to these underground tunnels in the 1700s. Yes, I'm as surprised as you are. All these bones are real, and you will also find them in interesting shapes like barrels, hearts, and so on. There is an interesting history associated with this place which I'll cover separately in another video. After the catacombs, you can do something else like visit the Montparnasse Tower. We decided to do that another day. Instead, we headed back to the Eiffel with some packed snacks and ate them by the Seine, enjoying this view. Next up is day 3. For day 3, you can choose to do a day trip from Paris like Palace of Versailles. We instead chose to do some slow travel by staying in Paris and reached Arc de Triomphe as the first stop for our day 3. You can choose to climb all the way up to Arc de Triomphe and enjoy the views of Paris by buying a ticket. It involved climbing lots of steps, so we just sat by Arc de Triomphe and enjoyed the crazy traffic around it. And right next to Arc de Triomphe is the most iconic avenue of Paris, Champs-Elysees. It has all the high-end brands in Paris, so if you plan to do some luxury shopping or window shopping, this is definitely the place to be. My main purpose of coming here was to try the famous macarons from Louvre. I couldn't believe this is a bakery shop. It almost looked like a jewelry shop. It was so beautiful. You can spend more time at Champs-Elysees. We were headed for our next destination. Our next destination is known for 2 things, beautiful art and lots of steps. And the metro station here was truly befitting. In case you guessed Montmartre, you are right. Montmartre is also known as Artists' Village, as artists famous like Picasso and Van Gogh used to live here. You need to climb a lot of steps to reach the hilltop, so make sure you wear comfortable shoes. Once you reach the hilltop, you will come across the beautiful church of Sacré-Cœur, which is French for Sacred Heart. Since Sacré-Cœur is located on a hilltop, you can enjoy beautiful panoramic views of Paris from here. This place has also been shown in Emily in Paris Season 3. How many of you can recognize it from the show? It started raining pretty heavily, so we had to cut short our Montmartre trip. If you get a chance, do check out the famous cafe La Maison Rose and the Wall of Love, which has wall with I love you written in 300 languages. We ate some yummy galette and crepes which are famous in Paris. We started day 4 with yet another interesting experience, the Atelier Lumière, or the Workshop of Lights. This is an immersive art experience where you can feel the art is almost coming to life. Before we move on to our next destination, this is just a reminder to have as many baguettes and croissants as you can have in Paris because they are all delicious. Our next stop is what I had previously mentioned in this video, the Tower Montparnasse. It is the tallest skyscraper in Paris with 59 floors. After doing a lot of research, we chose this spot for the best views of Paris. And oh boy, we weren't disappointed. The beautiful panoramic views of Paris seemed like a perfect way to end our last stay in this beautiful city. You can view all the monuments of Paris from here, like the Louvre, Luxembourg Gardens and Notre Dame, Arc de Triomphe, and even the Sacré-Cœur from Montmartre. There is also a small cafe located on the 56th floor from where you can take some coffee or beer and enjoy these views. We ended up staying here longer than we had planned, waiting for the day to turn into night and Eiffel to sparkle. And our last stop of the day, of course, had to be the most famous museum in the world, the Louvre. In case you want to avoid the crowds, let me tell you an amazing tip. Louvre is open during the nights till 9:30 p.m. only on Fridays, so we planned our trip accordingly. There was still a large crowd to look at the Mona Lisa, but still much better than the morning. I honestly found her a bit overhyped. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And this brings us to the end of 4 days in Paris. If you liked this video, do subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.